There is only 2 of them, yeah, and they swam it in from quite far, but it's the docks that they'll be heading towards in Hatin, and they should be able to find some cover there. You know, the beachhead, a little bit small. Ooh, okay, so this is definitely an interesting circle when we can keep our eyes on, because this really does favour those guys over towards that eastern side. And you almost want to say that one of these teams will now win if they play their cards right.
Na'Vi do have oversight over the whole thing, though. And if they can hold out that west side, there's potential for them to roll down effectively on those compounds, although it is really, really quite difficult in that sort of area. The bottom of those cliffs is really quite open. And there's not a lot of cover to leverage on that descent.
You can definitely head towards the ridge sides, though, on the east, looking down towards those compounds. That's occupied by Pioneer and Eastern Stars. And I think this is the first time Na'Vi's had a full force squad to try and go for something like this and control it, and haven't been sent away. Game Lord have just absolutely sent it packing straight towards Shockwave, hoping that it's open. It's unfortunately not. And now they're just going to be peppered by so many bullets whilst looking for somewhere to stay. Luckily, they've got a fast vehicle in hand and quickly get indoors, which is your best option in this situation.
Yeah, they managed to find just a shack on the side of the road, but it will be their sanctuary for the time being. They went straight through. I think they were in the south side of Hatin. I think they went straight through the canyon.
Yeah, it was speedy
somewhere. It was very, very fast, and this is pretty fast cleanup here from the Mad Bulls, finding a third as well. Xiao now all of a sudden left wondering where the hell his team has just gone. Effect, cooking the nade, wants to go around the side, and Xiao put down. Mad Bulls, that was very, very fast.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate there, John, to be honest. He just got blown over. Quickly fell to the floor. Made a paper of those lads today, apparently. But Mad Bulls clean up that fight so efficiently. And TJB didn't even feel like they fought back there. And it has felt a little bit like that for, you know, the past at least 5 matches, John. Not sure what's happening with TJB. Pocus, though, swings around the side, does find one player from Team Doom. This is over towards the south side, so, you know, it's going to be a lot of these teams just battling it out for some kind of position within the circle. Big has actually moved up towards Tambang. Take Aim Gaming left that position, and now it's looking to maybe cross over the river. You can see it on the right side of your screen. Thank you very much, observers. We love you. But Big could head over towards that bridge and make it across quite easily, considering there's absolutely no teams holding on to it. And I think if I was in Big situation, I hear the fighting, maybe I just move.
I like the 2-2 split that they've got going on for Big to make that progression as well. But Ruthless Esports, Team Doom, Virtus.pro are not too far away, but I don't think they want anything to do with it just yet. We'll have to wait and see if they pull up on this. Nano Baby getting rezzed. Nade over the top from Zero. Does find damage, but doesn't stop it. Might try and put another one a little bit closer on the mark. Oh boy. Pulls up on the top of a hill, and Mind shuts it down almost immediately. No reses going to be available as the next circle centers up fully on the northwestern island.
Yeah, you almost needed some aggression there from Virtus.pro, but Take Aim Gaming does disengage away from the Team Doom fight, as well as Ruthless Esports. It's an unfortunate timing as well, because just as they do that, you're seeing Virtus.pro trying to take advantage of the situation, assuming it's 2 teams fighting. That's all you can really do with the information you're given. Oh boy!
Ooh. Not winning out on the duel. Mind able to take him down a second time. The res did go through, but Virtus.pro double up on the loss for Old Boy pulling up out in the open. I'm not entirely sure that was sensible. Not too sure what they were waiting for. Maybe a call on where to go over the other side of the river, but it's difficult to know. And now they've paid the price. Only 1 player remaining for them, Yankee.
Know what you can do with just the singular, but a lot of these players and teams being so close by, it's going to be pretty tough for him to find his way in. Dadaev, though, I have faith. As unfortunate for Ruthless Esports are just being held up. I have faith in Dadaev, considering that he was able to loot up practically the entirety of Sami by himself, which is probably one of the hottest spots when it comes to picking up medical supplies. We do get our quick little predictions coming in. Jason and Maxman agree that Shockwave might be able to take this one, and Claris goes with Na'Vi. Now, I think Na'Vi's an interesting one to take here. And I think that, you know, with their split they're currently holding, they're trying to keep back a lot of these players on the western side, but they do play these dangerous splits very, very often. Now, I would be worried about their front man, who's over towards Mad Bulls at the moment. I believe that is Tixi. So he does really need to be careful, especially with how aggressive Tixi can be. He might just be poking the bee's nest here.
Well, here's the thing, right? The Mad Bulls are in that canyon, so there's no real sight lines if Tixi doesn't peek, so it is always going to be on him, right? Na'Vi going to be tested, I think, more likely from the south here on Big. Kitsune, with this push-up, going to be listening out for it. They should know that there's going to be someone up here. The question is, what route do they take?
Yeah. It would be a pretty cruel fate to go down to Big, considering they dropped on the south side. And it's like, yeah, your doom was always coming. This time we've just delayed it by about 15 minutes. We'll see what they can do. I still think there's a world where Na'Vi might be able to head over towards the ridge side, but with that circle that just pops now, Shockwave have a real good chance at this game. I know it's up to Na'Vi to really take advantage of this high ground, get as much done as possible from here, and then attempt to get into the circle. It will require smokes, and it will require some very good timing. But I think for Na'Vi, it's the real question, do we want to make a mess in this circle right now, or do we want to take it silent and hopefully sneak by Shockwave before they even know we're here?
I think the question that Na'Vi are going to have to ask is, do they let people push onto Shockwave's compound, right? Or do they just keep suppressing fire going? If they let people fight amongst themselves, yeah, that's right. I think that's the path that they're going to be looking for. Look at this. Silent grasshoppers. Big. Playing around the side.
Yeah. Just needs one with a violin now. Unfortunately, I would give them away. They do spot them, though. See them hopping around. It's first aid dropped to the floor. He thinks he's going down here. Eastern Star is getting taken down by Pioneer right on the eastern side. This is the team that moved early off boot camp. Now Na'Vi's having to make a sprint for it. They know they need to get into the circle. They have to do this alongside Big, who are currently still just jumping their way through. They will have looted just a little bit, but Na'Vi really didn't have a lot of time to get a ton of loot on board.
Take Aim Gaming getting shut down out in the open, as are ARB.
This is a good chance.
Brutal affair on the south side, it really is, but there's a knockover towards Na'Vi. I think one of their players did get knocked. I think it was a player from Big. Take Aim Gaming spotted in the meantime. Na'Vi still have 4 alive, and there is some backup close to the position, but Big are encroaching. Shockwave will have to leave their compound. They will have to move south, but Big are starting to take control here.
It's a little bit. It's a nice knock from Swave, an important knock as well, especially when they already have circle prio. Being able to hold them out in the blues, you can already see it's having a huge effect on Na'Vi. That one knock has just been a domino, and now Na'Vi's getting ripped to shreds here, and Beast is able to make his way and anchor in the circle. Shockwave has to move, but not before Pioneer sees them, and will just be absolutely tearing them apart at the seams as they try to make their way out of this compound. Big somehow have still been the northwestern presence whilst being all the way on the south side of the map.
I don't know how they've managed it. I mean, they're going to be very familiar with this ground. They've fought on it before. They've fought for it before. They're fighting into it now. Mihi on the sidelines, misses the spray, and Kitsune wants to take charge of it. We'll be able to get the flush as well, bringing Beast down to just Swave as an ally. And Big fall just a little bit. Na'Vi still have the res potential there if the crawl is good, but Shockwave are moving up to the ridgeline as well. Kitsune cutting down people out in the open, and it's a little bit more even now. Tixi, resable here. Are they out inside the zone? I think they are, and they have cover.
Just about. Mihi was really the key player. He had to step up and do something big, and he's absolutely been always the clutch player of the team. So they send him up top side whilst the 2 players underneath will take some advantageous positioning, right? Again, though, Matic, only 2 first aid kits, no nades on board, just 2 smokes. So coming down from here is going to be a problem. There's also Haluju sending in a nade, but oh my god, it bounces off some part of the rock and goes flying, and Swave saved by the bell there. Matic moves down.
He's relying on cover from teammates. He really has no cover from the broadside, but he's allowing his teammates to cover off that rock. They know he's there. Nightmare might go unnoticed in this scenario. Shockwave at the back there with their solo. Dadaev did die in the meantime, Blank, so no miracle runs this time around. We are looking at all our teams in the circle. Beast flushed out. Swave now under pressure. Take Aim Gaming at the back. Will be healing a little bit further out. No more first aids for Nightmare. Now he needs to try and take this fight or put some other teams down. Take Aim Gaming might be able to spot it if they crest the ridge, but Swave is suffering. And Na'Vi are swinging out. It looked a little bit hair-raising for a while, but they have managed to take that control back. 3 players alive. 1 does get spotted. Nightmare in the grass, and a second as well. Oh. Nightmare turning it around for Shockwave. It could all come crumbling down. It's just Matic now. And only 1 player from Take Aim Gaming goes down out in the blue to the heel, and it's a 1 versus 1. Kitsune crawling back. You need to just stick this res, and you need these sightlines to be controlled.
That is the absolute advantage of hard cover here. Be able to grab your teammate and bring him back up again. Now it is just down to 2 massive performance coming through from Shockwave, but what more can he do? Does reposition, tries to get some suppressing fire down. In the meantime, Tixi takes high ground, will reveal his spot. Great play from Tixi in the end there. Just to add to the end game. Even knocked, and that's what you need to do. And this is why Na'Vi's so good at those close quarters fights, John, where it comes down to team play. You know, that entire time he was just crawling over towards